lizard alien and Sleestack Chuck Schumer is showing signs of cracking. That's why we're wearing our official Chuck Schumer t-shirt today. Welcome to Doug in Exile as we get cracking on Chuck Schumer. Right after this, I'm going to show you something real quick. This is proof that the Democrats are cracking. I believe the Republicans got to hold out on that, on opening the government back up. Read this real quick for you. Here we go. Trump says, I am recommending to Senate Republicans that the hundreds of billions of dollars currently being sent to money-sucking insurance companies in order to have the bad health care provided by Obamacare be sent directly to the people so that they can purchase their own much better health care and have money left over. In other words, take from the big bad insurance companies, give it to the people, and terminate per dollar spent the worst health care anywhere in the world, Obamacare. Unrelated, we must still terminate the filibuster. Now, first thing I want to know is from you guys, what do you think? Are you comfortable with that, with Trump sending you a check where you pay for your own health care? By the way, that would instantly create competition, which instantly drives prices down. This is a brilliant move by Trump. And remember, the Democrats are just begging Trump to fund the Affordable Care Act. So I made a promise about Chuck Schumer, and I'm going to show you that clip. They're ready to open the government up if Trump agrees to pay for the Affordable Care Act for 1 year. And I'm telling you, this is the sign of weakness. This is the sign that the Democrats are willing to negotiate, and it's proof that they're giving up. So hold tight, Republicans. Watch Chuck Schumer here, terrified.
Democrats are ready to clear the way to quickly pass a government funding bill that includes health care affordability. Leader Thune just needs to add a clean 1-year extension of the ACA tax credits to the CR so that we can immediately address rising health care costs.
Don't do it.
That's not a negotiation.
Yes, it is.
It's an extension of current law. Something we do all the time around here.
Something you do when you negotiate it when the government's open. So first open it. You can't hold them up and say, we want this free and clear point, freebie, funding the Affordable Care Act, and then we'll open the government. The fact that they're willing to give this, the fact that the Democrats are willing to negotiate this is a crack in the rock. That's proof that they're ready to give up.
As we all know. But we also offer this. Let's create a bipartisan committee that will continue negotiations after the government reopens on reforms ahead of next year's enrollment period to provide long-term certainty that health care costs will be more affordable. This proposal reopens the government and ensures working families who are shopping right now for their health care get certainty and financial relief.
No, you don't care. I got much more on the health care stuff. But first, some of you are absolutely bombed out and confused right now over Medicare. So guess what's coming? Medicare annual enrollment is right now. And I don't blame you for being confused about how to sign up, or even if you currently have the best plan. I'm a simple artist. I'm not the smartest guy in the world when it comes to healthcare. And frankly, I overpay. I know already I overpay. It's one of my family's largest bills. I have 4 kids. We need help from someone we can all trust. And that's why I'm proud to have you call the Doug in Exile sponsor chapter at 631-961-8696. Chapter compares thousands of Medicare plans, and everyone who's called has told me they either saved them money, increased coverage, or they were told that they had the best plan already. And I just got another message last night from one of you that said you went with a different plan and you saved money. That's all I hear is positive stuff. The worst thing I can say about chapter is people are calling and saying there's like a 3-hour line and they will take your phone number down. That's why you tell them Doug in Exile sent you, because they'll prioritize you when they call you back, especially call over the weekend and call early mornings. Tell them Doug in Exile sent you. They'll call you right back. before that December 7th deadline. But get in line. Make sure you call 631-961-8696. That phone number is the first link in the description, first text in the description, and first comment pinned. And now back to our show. Okay, so here's more Trump text on more information on that. The Democrats are cracking like dogs. So he agrees they're showing cracks on the shutdown because they're deathly afraid that I am making progress with the Republicans on terminating the filibuster. That's the threat. The Republicans are going, you know what? We are going to have to terminate the filibuster if they won't open the government. Whether we make a deal or not, the Republicans must blow up the filibuster and approve hundreds of long sought but never gotten policy wins, like just a small example, voter ID that affects next election. Only a loser would not agree to do this. And he's calling half the Republicans a loser. Here's J.D. Vance backing up the president. First, Matt Gaetz says this is absolutely correct. What's he talking about? This J.D. Vance text, quote, many of my friends and former colleagues in the Senate are against eliminating the filibuster because they don't think the Democrats will do it. This is obviously wrong. So the filibuster is done. The question is, will we take advantage of it this year before the Democrats do it? The reason the filibuster exists is because of Democrat Senators Manchin and Sinema. Both of them had their careers destroyed by the far left for protecting the filibuster. And you better believe every Senate Democrat internalized that lesson. So this is wisdom, just knowing they're going to do this already. Here's more on the shutdown from Fox News. Watch this.
Taking to Truth Social earlier this morning, writing, quote, I am recommending to Senate Republicans that the hundreds of billions of dollars currently being sent to money-sucking insurance companies in order to save the bad health care provided by Obamacare be sent directly to the people so that they can purchase their own much better health care and have money left over. In other words, take from the big bad insurance companies, give it to the people, and terminate per dollar spent the worst health care anywhere in the world, Obamacare. Unrelated, we must still terminate the filibuster. Here to react, Oklahoma Senator and GOP Conference Vice Chair James Langford. Senator, thanks for being here. Let me just get your reaction to what President Trump is really putting out on Truth Social.
Yeah, it's one of the key reasons that we have continued to be able to push back on what Chuck Schumer is trying to be able to peddle. He's saying, hey, let's just do a one-year extension of these Obamacare subsidies. And the general media gets out there and says, that sounds so reasonable. But what they're really saying is send $40 billion straight to insurance companies that some of them have had between 500 and 1,000% increase in their stock.
Just the same thing that happened with student loans. When governments got in the business of giving away government-backed student loans, the prices just went up on them because there's no competition. It's free government money. It's ridiculous. We never should have agreed to it. Here's more of Langford.
Since the time of Obamacare. So they're saying send all this money to insurance companies and it'll be fine. What the Democrats are not saying is it's pumping money to insurance companies, not to people to be able to help. It's only for about 20 million people, the select group that they have picked. It's not the general population line. Most people's insurance rates are going to continue to go up. Democrats are only trying to subsidize a certain group of folks. It's also funding directly towards abortion. And Democrats won't say this. This was their end around to be able to fund elective abortions by sending money to insurance company, then allowing the insurance to be able to cover abortion.
The government can't pay for an abortion because of the Hyde Act or whatever it is, but they allow insurance companies to pay for abortions. So they put a wall between it so they were allowed to do it. Abortion is the number one issue for me. Okay, this is infanticide. This is Moloch-like, lizard alien, satanic practice, and our government is funding the killing of its own citizens. This cannot stand. And America, I hate to say it, but this is where we are going to have a collective standing before God for killing innocent human life. That is, before someone gets a name, before they draw a single breath, they are wiped out from the face of the universe. They're not allowed to exist. It's the greatest form of evil known to man. It's the most evil thing that you could possibly do. And it's not like our government does it once or twice. You're talking about 1 million a year in our country. Basically, our pagan country kills more people than the Aztecs did, the most primitive society in the world, known for their cruelty. We've actually made technology to get very good at it. I'm getting off my soapbox here, but I'm saying us allowing individuals to do it at least puts that decision in their hands instead of in government. Now, this is a really, really cool video about judges and how the judges since the early 60s, the most amount of judges that have gone against anyone is against Trump. Watch this.
Bush had 6 injunctions against him. Half of those were issued by Democrat-appointed judges. Obama had 12 nationwide injunctions issued against his administration. 60% of those were issued by Republican-appointed judges. In the first Trump term, he had 64 injunctions. That compares with Biden's 14. And then before the CASA decision, we have a rough count of about 40 issued in the first 6 months of the Trump administration. So over 100 injunctions issued by against the Trump administration. Over 90% of those were issued by Democrat-appointed judges. That means that since 1963, over 3/4 of the nationwide injunctions have been issued against President Trump, with over 90% of those coming from Democrat-appointed judges. Well, some might argue that's just because Trump is more lawless. Well, again, let's look at the facts. 24 emergency petitions were filed at the Supreme Court by the Trump administration this year. They won 22 of them. That's a 92% win rate at the United States Supreme Court.
That's Pam Bondi. Good job. So you see that argument that they're saying that most of the injunctions that happened since 1963 have been against Trump. The overwhelming majority, it's like 75% of them. Okay. And it's by judges that were appointed by Obama, Biden, Clinton, Democrats. So it's obviously the proof, using logic, of the politicization of our justice, of our legal system. So a Democrat would say, well, no one's been as radical as Trump. Well, then how do you explain when Pam Bondi pushed all of these cases up to the Supreme Court, Trump won them? Well, in a way, this doesn't change the minds of the Democrat. All the Democrats say is, well, the Supreme Court is radicalized also. And that's the argument the Democrats are going to use to expand the Supreme Court if they win in 2026. Also, why we got to overturn the filibuster and clean up voter ID. Do you see now? It's all interconnected. I'm going to keep going over this information over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to keep reconnecting them for you because I know it's very abstract. It takes a while for us to understand. But that is the legal theory that is driving everything. Everything is interconnected on all these issues, including letting Democrats wanting illegal aliens to come in and vote and not have voter ID. See how it's all interconnected. Trump needing to overturn the filibuster, the weaponization of government. Now, here's an interesting one from Thomas Massie, brand new on the pipe bomb. I like Thomas Massie. I want him out of office, but I agree with this statement. He says, America is waking up today to learn that Capitol Police turned CIA. So a Capitol policeman turned CIA orchestrated the pipe bombs on January 6th. So they placed pipe bombs on January 6th to frame Trump, our own government. And the FBI has covered it up for 4 years. Dan Bongino was the first to talk about this that I remember, and Julie Kelly and Steve Bannon. And I thought, well, this is a nutty conspiracy, so I didn't cover it until the information came out. Thomas Matt said, I questioned FBI Director Wray, so let's get Christopher Wray indicted here, ATF Director Dettelbach, and FBI Assistant Director over D.C., Dion Tuono, under oath, and all played dumb, meaning all of them lied. This story is breaking. We're going to have a lot more on this J6 pipe bomb. If they find out our government planted those bombs to frame Trump, and it doesn't surprise me if they did do it, but we'd have to find the Democrat ties to show who pulled the trigger. Probably Christopher Wray. If you guys want more great videos, make sure that you subscribe. I love my audience. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you think of this show, and make sure you go to church tomorrow. And most of all, we have that cool Nancy Pelosi episode here that has an opportunity for you to join me on a webinar to learn how to trade stocks with Nancy Pelosi so we can get 300%. I'm Doug in Exile. Click that thing and call chapter.